Ron DeSantis is a deeply political actor. And what I mean by that is he's very astute and keen to the current fads and trends in politics. And he knows how to ride a right-wing wave of outrage and do it effectively, where he makes himself more popular in the eyes of the base. So we've seen this on, LGBTQ issues. We've seen this on basically the issue of Donald Trump, right? He's walking that line where he's not a Trump sycophant, but he's also not anti-Trump. He just sort of doesn't even mention him. It's very intelligent politics. He knows he's plotting in a very effective way. Well, one of the things he's done to gain credibility with that right-wing base is, without, endorsing Trump's insane conspiracy theories on the election and going full authoritarian and saying you should overturn it, he knows that actually would cost him independents and moderates when he eventually runs for president. So what he's doing is, it's a wink and a nod to that crowd, saying, oh yeah, I'm going to fight on this issue. And so what he's done is, he did this PR stunt where he called a press conference and he said, we are cracking down on election fraud, and we are bringing back integrity to our voting system. And I will protect our elections, because I'm a serious man, and I take this issue very personally. And so, now what does this do? Well, it makes it so that all the Stop the Steal people are like, he's fighting for election integrity, man! But he's also not going as far as to say, like, Donald Trump is right, the election was stolen from him, and you should put him back in office immediately. He didn't even ask Trump for his endorsement when he ran again. So he's walking that line. It's smart politics. It's kind of what Glenn Youngkin did in Virginia, and Glenn Youngkin won. Okay. Well, now, some journalists decided to do the wacky thing called journalism and actually look into his claims and what he was doing. And here's what they found. This is in the Tampa Bay Times. Tampa police carrying out the first arrests of Governor Ron DeSantis' new election security force were surprised and almost sympathetic. Quote, I've never seen these charges before in my entire life, one officer said. So, let me show you. We have the videos here. The videos of the actual election fraud arrests of these people. It's illegal for them to vote in the election. They're committing election fraud. We're going to stop them. Watch these videos, and you'll see what really went on here.
So, apparently, I guess you have a warrant?
For what?
I'm not sure.
For voter stuff, man.
For vote.
Hear how, apologetic the cops are? Apparently, I guess you have a warrant? He's like, for what? The guy, it's for voter stuff, man. They're, bordering on being like, I'm sorry, I'm just doing my job, I'm told to do this, I don't know what it is, I don't agree with it, I don't even know why we're doing this, but we're doing it. Keep watching.
It's what it is. I think the agents with FDLE talked to you last week about some voter fraud, voter stuff, when you weren't supposed to be voting, maybe.
I didn't.
So,
What are they talking about?
that's
man?
what we're not the case agents, but what you got to do, they have reduced your bond quite a bit. It's 2 felony charges for voter fraud, but they've reduced it to $500 bonds. So it's $1,000 total.
Oh my God, man! What?
Yes, sir. So unfortunately, right.
So understand what they're saying there. When they drafted these charges, they know that what they're doing is just a PR stunt. It's total bullshit. Again, you're going to hear more as to why it's bullshit in a second. So what they're doing is they're like, all right, well, just book them and then release them as quickly as you can and charge them as little as possible. Because they knew that what they were doing is a fucking PR stunt and it's bullshit. And these people didn't do anything wrong. Okay, keep watching.
Now we're going to have to take you to jail, but you got a bond right away. You don't have to go.
The arrests are a result of Governor Ron DeSantis' new Office of Election Security and Election Crimes and Security.
Okay. So, ma'am, we have a warrant for your arrest.
For what?
For voter fraud.
Good, how are you, sir?
Oh my God, hold on.
Wait.
Let me tell my husband.
We're telling him, he's right here.
Right here. So if you could put your hands behind your back, please.
Oh my God.
Do not move.
Ultimately, ma'am, you have a warrant? Okay. The warrant. Listen. I know you caught off guard, I understand. Right? So you have a warrant, it's for voter fraud, okay? Hear me out. It's an ROR. You know what an ROR is?
Oh my God.
You go in, you get booked, and then they're going to release you from booking.
You can go right out.
You're going to be right back out.
Okay, you see what the cops are doing here? They're trying to, like, soften the blow because they know this is bullshit.
Okay? But you have a warrant.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm like, voter fraud. I voted, but I ain't commit no fraud.
I voted, but I didn't commit fraud.
Well, so that's the thing. I don't know exactly what happened with it, but you do have a warrant. That's what it's for. Okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened with that, but...
I got out. The guy told me that I was free and clear to go vote or whatever because I done my time.
When I got out, the guy told me I was free and clear to vote because I had done my time. A government official said, you are free and clear to vote because you've done your time. And then she voted. And then she was charged with a felony for voting.
Yep. But the warrant was just made yesterday. So, yeah, I know. I don't know, ma'am. I honestly couldn't tell you, okay? So I gotta do some paperwork.
They face 5 years in prison for registering and voting illegally.
And the quicker I can get the paperwork done, the quicker I can get you there, okay?
Again, note the cops. What they're saying, how they're acting, the tone of their voices. They're like, I feel really uncomfortable doing this.
Hey, unfortunately, you got a warrant out, okay?
Warrant?
Yes, sir. Want to put your hands behind your back for me?
Well, no, but no one ever really explained all that much to me. I told the guys when they came out here that I was at the driver's license place, getting my new driver's license. Yeah. The guy there asked me, he says, hey, can you vote? He says, hey, are you registered to vote? I said, no, I'm a convicted felon. I'm pretty sure I can. He goes, well, are you still on probation? I said, no. I got off probation like a month ago. He goes, well, then you can probably vote. Hey, just fill out the form, and if you can vote, then they'll let you give you a card. If you can't vote, then you won't. And I'm like, all right.
Did you hear what he said? I got out. I was like, I'm a convicted felon. I probably can't vote. A guy, government official, says, no, you probably can, fill it out. And then when you go to vote, if you can't vote, they'll just be like, oh, you can't vote, but you're allowed to vote. These are people who are all told by government officials, you are now allowed to vote. They are registered to vote. And they went and voted. This is what happened in every single case. Every case.
And there's your defense. You know what I'm saying?
That
sounds like a loophole to me.
Well, we can hope.
Okay. So now, I'll tell you. So it says on the screen the following. A 2018 Florida constitutional amendment restored the right to vote to felons. It did not apply to anyone convicted of murder or a felony sex offense. All right, so let me give you the way this unfolded. So, yeah, Florida voters said, yeah, we'll give convicted felons, let's restore their right to vote. So, in other words, you serve your time, when you get out, you can vote again. You already paid your debt to society, it's over, it's done, so now all your rights are restored, you can go vote again, right? Well, there was a gap there when that was the law in Florida. But then the Republican legislature said, no, we don't agree with what the public decided. So they changed the law to be, okay, yeah, we guess some, former felons can vote, but we're going to exclude people who were convicted of a felony sex offense or murder and maybe like a couple other things. And so these people were registered to vote, told they can vote, it was legal for them to vote, and then by the time they actually voted, the Republican legislature in Florida changed the law to exclude certain felons from voting. And so Ron Desantis, for a political stunt, decided, I'm going to go find the people who, even though they didn't really violate the law, because when they registered to vote, they were allowed to vote. Now that we changed the law, and they don't know that, and they were allowed to vote, we're going to arrest them, charge them with a felony, and then I'm going to do a press conference and say, I'm taking election integrity seriously. And now you see these people who are just fucking confused. Like, what? And I guarantee you, every single one of these people, had they known you're not allowed to vote, there's no way they would have voted. No way. So is this Is this how this should be handled? Is this how this should be handled? And even the cops understand, like, oh, I don't really even know what we're doing here, man. This seems sort of... Well, there you have it. This is who Ron DeSantis is. He's a political stunt machine. And ultimately, he is, he's skilled at PR. And it works. He rides the wave of right-wing outrage. But fundamentally, he's nothing but an establishment Republican. That's what he is. I mean, the guy's against legalizing marijuana because it smells bad, according to him. He's done a number of anti-free speech and anti-free protest provisions where he flipped the burden on driving protesters over with your car. Like, hey, you're blocking the road. Maybe you had it coming. You know what I'm saying? He's against raising the minimum wage. He's a massive corporatist who stunts like he's against corporations by saying, oh, I'm against these woke corporations. Remember the whole thing that happened with Disney? Where everybody's like, oh, he's cracking down on Disney. Meanwhile, what he did is he shifted the tax burden from Disney to working families in Florida. The guy's a fraud. He's a total and complete fraud. And this stuff, credit to, who is it again? The Tampa Bay Times for diving into this, because this is a devastating story, and it shows the actual human toll of his ass backwards and shitty policies. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.